Welcome back. This is Nerd Dad on episode 24 of our Factorio playthrough. And yeah, we were starting to think a little bit about trying to get some passive provider chests and other types of chests up and running. And I'm just kind of looking at what we've got available to us. You know, if we're going to have to get some red circuits and those types of things together. But I'm also thinking it would be nice for us to start getting these faster transport belts, and I'm thinking that might help us with this steel line a little bit. I'd like to get a bit more of the fast inserters. Whoops, I just chopped that line. I was wondering when that would happen. Good news is we don't think we need that line anymore, so that's good. I'll just leave it chopped at this point. Oh, let's chop that line too. We need that one. Get over there and repair that for me, would you? Okay, the only thing it's really going to help us do is get 4 more burners online, but that's, you know, that's a decent assist for us. You know, that's, I think it's what, 25%? Sure. Yeah, something like that. And it would be nice to be able to help this back end of the line as well. Like, I think if we get more ore here, that's going to help this whole thing. But ultimately, yeah, it's even maybe more, 25 to 30%. I don't know, every time we start watching a burner go, you know, I'm sort of reinforcing the, hey, we need some oranges in here. So, if we're going to do that, we're going to be a little bit concerned about how we're going to do it. I'm not too sure it's going to fit in this area right here where we have our yellows. We could try to shoehorn it in here, but I'm not sure that pulling off the same line as we're pulling off for all these other things is really a great idea. I'm actually thinking what we'll do is we'll rebuild this, feeding a red, with the idea that eventually we might go blue on it as well. So what I want to do is I want to take a look at what the requirements are for blue transport, and I got to think about that a little bit because I can't remember which one it is. Where do we get our blues from? Down around Logic Logistics 3, that makes sense. And we're going to need lubricant and gears. So it would be nice if we had it somewhere near our lubricant line, that's for sure. So lubricant, gears, and red and green. So just a red circuit. Yep. So gears, circuits, and lubricant is where we ultimately want to go. And for what we need right now, we need the yellow stuff and gears. So lots of gears and green circuits. So eventually we're going to want red circuits. We're going to want green circuits. We're going to need lubricant, and I think our lubricant's up over this way somewhere. Where did we get our lubricant coming in? It should be up around, up here somewhere. There's our lubricant. So, I don't really want to build it right in this zone here. I don't think that's a great place for us to build it because, well, space, and 2, we would be pulling off all these other lines. I'm almost wondering if we ran a bit of a dedicated line, a couple lines right up and through here, and maybe built in this little zone right here. We'd be close to the lubricant. We could pull off of this area here. We'd be nice and close to our reds, and we could pull a green and a steel line up this way. And that wouldn't hurt us if we had a sort of started this bus that's going back and forth here with a green and steel as well. So let's commit. Let's commit to the cause. I think the first thing we're going to want to do is make sure we got a roboport in here somewhere. That's going to be a bit of a problem. Did we goof that up when we built our wonderful thing? Oh, a little bit. Just a little bit. We're going to want this right there. So it's right on the end of that line. So we're going to just have to figure another place for the end of that line. Okay. Can't hurt our feelings. Of course, I always want to run away for some reason. Run away! That's not what the plan was. Okay. Get that green down there and green. There we go. Nice square lines. Got a little bit of stuff going on. Can we squeeze a power line in here? Yep. And can we get a bump to the other one? I'm thinking if we just kind of go like this, make that as sort of our central area. It's a little bit goofy with what I've done there, but what I'm thinking is I want to keep a bit of a path through here, so that's a good way for me to reinforce that. So I don't forget going forward what I was thinking. Okay, let's get that cleared out. Let's get all these trees out of here. Get our minions out there. Come on. Clean it up, boys. Go get your stuff. Oh, I just love when those robots come through. Just look at them just peeling it away. Alright. And now we could put out some, you know, we could go and copy and paste that yellow factory we've got and flip it around and stuff. But I think I kind of want to do this fresh new, just making sure we've got what we require. The other thing I'm not too sure about is whether our spacing is going to work. I'm thinking what we're going to do is actually push up the spacing on the side, but that's going to goof up this a little bit, so not too sure about what we got going on here right now. This is going to be a little bit interesting. The first thing I know is I want lots and lots of gears. So we are actually going to do the gears the way that I say I usually don't do the gears, because we've noticed we need a lot of them. And so we're going to actually see if we can... I don't think I've done it this way before, so we're going to try something, again, a bit different. Usually what I do is I build the gears just feeding them, and I kind of make this huge complex for building these inserters. But I'm going to try doing it with sort of a ore line coming in. And actually, let's just peel this right back for now. We can send this anywhere we want, so let's just peel it right back for now. And we could use some of those in our bag anyways. If we were to, say, kind of bring that in like that, and I kind of want to have this with its own dedicated ore line, so I think we will give ourselves an ore line coming up like this, and just kind of do a little jump there like that, jump the old tank, and just feed that in like that. And I have a feeling these first four would actually just tax this, so this is sort of a bit of an experiment, because I'm not too sure that we can actually fulfill this the way I'm thinking. It may not work. Again, the issue that I have, I kind of mentioned this way back at the beginning, is if you put things onto the belt, what happens is that the belt gets thinned out with the first thing that starts pulling off of it, and you find that you don't often get the machines at the end, whereas if you give a dedicated one, they'll kind of wait, and that means all your machines kind of get an even spread. It seems to work a little bit better. Ponder, ponder, ponder. Alright, first things we're going to need is, we know we're going to need some transport belts, which are going to need plates as well. Yeah, we're actually going to need lots of ore up here, so let's get a couple of lines coming up here. Couple of dedicated lines to get us kind of the stuff we need. I was starting to wonder about that a little bit. So we're going to actually say, hey, look, we're going to need so much of this stuff that we just pull that one off like that, and we will actually just drop this one in a little bit shorter. And we'll just curve that one over like that. Run this one over. There we go. That was the wrong place. I want to run that right tight like that. No, that's not what I was doing. Oh, goodness. Can't even keep my mind straight. That's not what I'm doing. Old habits die hard. Okay, so if we do that, let's do it this way then. Changing my mind on the fly. Oh, we're taking some damage somewhere. What's we got? Oh, yeah, just same old, same old. Never really know, so I like to check it out sometimes just to make sure we're not getting any surprises. Okay, and that would mean we need some ore coming down this side. I think that's not really what I'm going to want to do, though. I'm thinking ahead to, you know, what I need all this ore for, and I'm actually going to want to do that ore split and keep this one as the ore for the transport belts itself. Okay, which means we can actually split it up somewhere else. So we're going to just do this a little bit differently. Pull this across. Can that reach all the way over there? I don't think so. Yeah, we're going to have to do kind of a bump like that. And we'll just bring the ore straight up like this then. Okay, and this is all going to be sprockets, or gears, or whatever we're calling them. Okay, and then we can just chunks and chunks and chunks. Just kind of get this really quickly laid out, and then let's think about, we'd only need these type, I think, for these. Okay, so now we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and on this side, we should be able to come in with, here's our sprockets, which we're going to want to probably split off. I'm not sure whether it's going to be here or somewhere else. I'm just going to drop one here for right now, because I'm not really sure what we're doing with it. And come up like this. That will give us, what should we do now? Really want to get this inserter capacity up. Since we're kind of holding off on the railways, we're going to kind of hold off on that for a little bit. Probably going to need to split this line a couple times. It wouldn't surprise me. So let's just assume we're going to split it at least once. I'll just bring it in like that. This should be ins on this side, ins on this side, and then a couple outs on this side. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to put the outs on the other side. I'm going to do it on over here. Just trying to think of how to keep everything in alignment the way I like to. So this, a little bit of power there, some power here and here. How are we doing on telephone poles? Well, hopefully our minions will bring us some. I think we already asked for them. And that's good. And come on, guys, I could use some stuff. And let's just double check on our bag in a second. Let's see if we've got a request in. Yeah, we've asked for 20. We probably should ask for a bit more. Can we have maybe a few more, please? Thank you. I brought us a few. Good timing. Okay, now this will be where we're going to build those. Okay, now that we've got those being built, and we know that that'll work, I'm just kind of waiting to bring this all online. In fact, why don't we start getting this backlogged a little bit? So let's get the ore up in here as well. Because this might take us a couple of segments. So let's just do this. But what we're doing is we're setting ourselves up to get those blues eventually, and that's going to be what we're really shooting for here. So we're thinking ahead again. It's always good to try to plan ahead a bit. Now, if we had been really thinking ahead, we would have done this way back at the beginning, you know, way back around our first episode or something. But there's times when you're in a bit of a hurry and you try to get some things done as well. So, you know, you kind of take the good with the bad in this game. Alright, and no, that's not what we want to do. We want to push this up pretty high, right about there. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a splitter right there, and then we're going to put another one right there to bring off that second line, so we can basically keep 2 full beads is what we're shooting for here, kind of trying to keep a couple of solid splits. And what we could do if we really wanted to get crazy here, we could actually just stop that one and just have it, we could actually just feed that right over there. We can, you know, get rid of the splitter itself and allow this line just to be a solid bead, and then kind of backfill from these other two. Right now I'm going to say that's not necessary, but if it is, we will do that. So we've got little ways to clip things. And we can see now we should start getting some sprockets or iron gears. And then we'll start spitting out some goodies. Of course, we don't have anything for it to spit to, so just run this up real quick. There we go. And I think we're starting to see some action up here. Yep, there we go. So we'll start working on getting that a little logged. Now we got to think about where we're going to do these underground belts, and we got to start thinking about these splitters as well. Now I'm thinking what we're going to want to do is do a little bit of a split job here for this. And the other thing I'm a little concerned about is what I don't want to do is I don't want to have just one line coming in here where it's constantly pulling off of here, and when we get building, this sort of sucks up all our gears. So what I want to do is I want to kind of run this second line of gears where they're not going to be touched, just past, and sort of bypass that area. And I have a feeling we may need to even add more of these eventually, but we will see if that becomes a truth. I'm not too sure yet what we have in store for ourselves. Now, what I want to do is I want to first of all, actually I probably didn't even need those. No, I actually could have used the cheapies. I may as well use the cheapies where we can. 2, 3, 4. The only downside is, I mean, I think there's a speed variant on these as well. You know, so using blues is better. Why am I having troubles? Because I'm not doing it in my bag like a fool. You can see the crafting speed is 0.5. Crafting speed, I believe, on this has 0.75, and then we can upgrade later on to the full 1. So we do lose a bit of a speed buff on the crafting. Frankly, I'm not really worried about it at this point. Maybe we might think about it later, but I'm okay with it being the way it is right now. Alright, so we know we're going to pull these in, and we're going to kind of go something like that. And it looks like we could probably use a little bit more cleanup here. So let's not take out our radar. That's what we're going to want to make sure we miss. And we're going to probably actually, I'm going to pick up this radar and I'm going to just bump it over to here. It's not that big of a move for us. And frankly, then we can just not worry about it when we're building. And we're going to bring this line up. And yeah, I know that I'm sort of doing a double cheat off this line, but this is the place I want to do this double cheat. I want to leave this big long bead here for the blues later on is what I'm trying to do, to see if it's going to be enough. So we're And we might use it a little bit for, when I was looking at the fast stuff, we need 40 iron gears for every one of these fast underground belts, and we need, a kind of a mix. So because we need so many of them, I might even use this just for the fast to start, and then eventually we'll figure out what that really entails for us. All right, and our outs are going to be here for our fast inserters, so we're going to do those right here. Fast inserters. Our fast transport belts. Oh, goodness. It's major problems. Oh, and then we left a bunch of reds down below, so we're going to have to just build some in our bag really quick. And we don't have any yellows, I don't think, either, so that's going to hurt a little bit. Alright, well, we got a bit of a backlog going here, and I see that we're doing it like this, so we will continue to do it that way. Okay, so now we should be able to pull power across and kind of go click, click, click. And there we go. Okay, let's get the iron gears coming up. And that should allow us to start spitting out a decent amount, I'm hoping. I'm hoping we don't over pull this gear line here. With the amount that we've got coming down from here, I'm hoping that this will be enough. If it isn't, we might have to think about what we're going to do about that. But right now, lots of fast inserters coming out. So that is really good. Okay, so that's sort of this side of the spectrum. The other side of the spectrum that we want to deal with, and we're kind of, leaving ourselves a little bit oblivious to, is the fact that we really want the ability to build these underground belts, and we want the ability to build these splitters. Sorry, I just had a little bit of a, how am I going to do that? Okay, so I don't want to... So all I need is the belts and the plates. Belts and plates is all we need. And I want to do them here. Which is kind of strange because of what I've done up there. But that's okay. So belts and plates. So I think what we'll do is we're just going to kind of... This is definitely not going to be in alignment. We can see that already. And belts and plates. And that'll get us the plates, and the belts are going to have to come down kind of like this. And we will just kind of do a bit of a snake over here like this, with a splitter right here. And then we'll just do the little jump. And I don't know why I have this tendency to do that. And I think those four should be able to keep up. I'm hoping they will be able to, but of course that's going to pull even more off these sprockets here. Okay. That should mean we should be able to have at least 2 factories for that. Oh. And 2, I'm thinking, for the others. And now what we need to worry about is how are we going to get these green circuits in here. And this is where I think we're going to want to bring them in like this. And so this is going to be a little bit of a different... Oh, we don't need to go that far with that. Okay. And we'll just do a couple of jumps and a jump. I wasn't too worried about bringing this line in because we knew we were going to do it at some point. Just got to make sure we don't shortchange ourselves here. There we go. Another one right here. And we'll just run this one right down into there. And there we go. It was pretty well that easy. We're just going to kind of get that line right up there. We'll just do a couple of tunnels for the transport belt. And there that goes. And that should bring them right up in here. And what that's going to do is going to allow us to do... And I don't need this for the whole thing. I don't know why I'm overbuilding. Just kind of like there. So this will be our in for our greens. And our outs will go out there. And we're going to have ins there. And ins there, and I just got to double check I need plates, yep. And our plates will come from over there, and we should be golden here once we give this some instruction. A little bit of instruction, please, somebody. Oh, we need more poles. Where's my guys? I must have run out of poles on the network, which is why we wanted to get some passive chests done, but we want to do that. Whoa, that was loud. We wanted to get some passive chests. We don't have any wood even. Yes, we're going to be 1 pole short. Well, we will not fall. Actually, we're going to be any pole short. Can we build some of these? I can't build anything. Why not? What are we short? Copper? There we go. I was like, we can't be unable to build every pole we've got, or we're just not carrying around enough stuff. So what that means is our network just probably doesn't have any telephone poles or power poles left in it. It's all good. Okay, now, what does this mean to us? Well, I'm hoping what we can do here is come over here, and right here on the other side is what we're gonna... Oh, we're taking damage. Where's that? Whoa! Whoa! Well, what I'm gonna hope... Actually, this isn't connected to our network, so my hope for a gun being built there is not gonna happen. Yeah, we're gonna have to get over there and fix that at some point, but I kind of want to get this finished off first. So, what do we need here? Okay, these two here are intended to be our... Oh, dummy. Blues in there. There we go. Intended to be our splitters. And then what I'm hoping we can do here is when we feed them over to this side, I'm hoping that we can pull off there and there and make these into our fast splitters, which means we need some gears, and we're going to need some more electric circuits. And so we should be able to go like this, and that should be a nice thick bead for us on both sides. And you can see it's already starting to feed, and then it just means we need some of these sprockets here. And so we will just kind of, I know we're kind of sneaking this over the top. I wasn't sure where I was building it. I was actually thinking I was going to build it up top there, but since we built it this way, it's okay. Once we get this log jammed a bit, we'll be in a good position. And then we'll just kind of pull off of here, and I think we're going to need these for everything, so we're just going to kind of do that. And then our output line, of course, will be something like this. And I'm not going to, actually, you know what? I'm not going to build shopping carts right now. I'm going to build a couple of cheesy ones, but yeah, put them. That's not what you want to do. What are we going to do? I don't know. Let's get some better ammo. Apparently our guns need it. Man, I'm just having trouble keeping chests going too. Okay. That's not going to work either. Alright. Well, there's more than one way to skin a cat. We'll put that there. Put this here. What I'm trying to do here is, I don't want to kind of build a whole grocery area. If we're going to build these, if the intent is for us to feed blues with these, then we don't want to build a whole thing where we're putting reds, because, well, that's not the intent of all this. So we're just going to kind of do this. I might have to throw a quick little bit of logic on here. Let's do that. What do we got for logic wire? Probably got enough. We're going to need one there. We're going to need one to there, and we're going to need one to there. Okay, and so basically what it's going to be is if fast underground belts, if fast underground belts is less than 100, keep adding to that one box, please, and we'll copy that over to this guy, because they're both going to be feeding the same stuff. May as well get that on there. And we're going to tell this one, if you've got less than 50 of these, keep feeding the box, otherwise stop it. There we go. So we got some logic sitting on there. That's great. And that's going to work well. I see that everything's going good so far. We just need a little bit of instruction over here on this. Tell this to start doing its thing. And have we got everything we need there? I think we do. Yeah, we just need to kind of get a little bit of a feed over to this other side. Get a couple of those. Get these guys feeding in like that. Some power. And just get those red inserters we just built. And like that. And there we go. Actually, I think I'm just going to move this red inserter down just one more, just to allow it to have a little bit more time to feed that one. And we should be finding ourselves in a pretty good position. One thing we didn't do on the end of this one is just kind of give ourselves a little temporary storage unit. So we need to do that as well, because this has kind of been stopped. But we've got fast stuff coming out now, and I'm not going to kind of go over all the lines with fast stuff, because frankly I want to get to blue and I'll just override it. There's only certain places we're going to want this, so we're not going to get too crazy with it. But I wouldn't mind a full gauntlet of those in case there is a long line we need to fill. And we'll see here we're already, getting this pretty quick. And as long as our bus that we've brought from the south here is keeping up, I see that it's strained a little bit on the back end here, but yet this line is not strained at all. So I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to put sort of an evener right here. Just kind of throw a little even thing there, and if one line's sort of waiting for stuff, we'll just start forcing it down the other way, and that'll help this one kind of keep up on these. Because we know that if this is being taxed right now, it's definitely going to be taxed when we get into blues. But things might have been stopping already. What's going on? That's good. We're running into problems. So just kind of keeping our eyes open. We're having no problems at all keeping up with the yellows. I didn't think we would. That typically isn't a problem. You can almost do it with 2 of these. You can see this one at the back just kind of keeps it full. So this is pretty well overkill. It's just something I always have no problems overkilling that front piece. It's cheap, it's easy. Okay. And what we could do if we wanted to, if we're finding that this is truly overkill and that this line isn't going, we can convert these ones right here into gears, and we'll just start spinning them back onto this this band here and feed them up this way. In fact, kind of thinking since we're not really being stressed at all, maybe we will do that with this one. Because he's not really doing anything, and we could use some more off that line. So I'm thinking, you know what? That's not a bad plan. Let's just reverse this guy. Whoops. And not do it like that. That was really stupid. It's fantastic. Good news is maybe it'll pull them off the line. Nope. That was really dumb. Yeah. Yeah, we can only laugh at ourselves when we do these things. Okay, I just want to get that out of the way to start with. Just make sure it doesn't do something even dumber. Okay, and we're going to say, hey, build me some more of those things, please. And there we go. Let's keep adding back to the line. Giveth and taketh. And, in fact, I'm kind of curious to see if we can almost do this for 2 of these. With this kind of doing what it's doing, I mean, it's not having any problems at all. Let's do that. Let's kind of change our plan here a little bit. And we'll just pull that red inserter out of there. Probably could get away with just 1 of these, but let's not push it. We might find that now that we've added more gears, it might pull heavier up here. Because I see that there's only a couple, like, there's just this 1, 2's building. This last one's not even really doing anything. Why not? No, because it doesn't have any of the goodies. But it's only going to last for like 1 or 2 turns anyways, because this one isn't going. So if this one's not going, that one's not going. So yeah, we're still having troubles with the sprockets. We need like a lot more of these. I guess I could pull this, but my concern is if I get more of these going. I kind of thought 4 was overkill, but so far it's okay. I mean, we see we're not really building our splitters here, but this is again one of these places we're going to come and pick things up. Ultimately, even when we're blues, it's a place where we're going to come and pick things up and not use all the time. So it has time to regenerate itself while we're off doing things. For now. At some point we'll want to make more efficient. Alright, well, the good news is we got a couple hundred of these now. We've kind of stood here yapping about it long enough. And got some of those and got some of those. And one thing we can do is, now that we're starting to get reds in our belt and we're saying, hey, look, we may not want as many of these things, we can start kind of back-feeding these with our excess. We can just say, hey, look, we don't need this much of these things anymore. And we can do the same thing up here. Now, not that we really need to for up here, but we could do it over here. And that will, it all helps a little bit. You just kind of say, well, I don't need this much of this. And you can have some of that. Take a little bit of that. And there we go. So that gets us a little bit of stuff. What are we doing? Okay. Wow, we really pulled that line. You can see how much damage we did to that line. It was a constant double pull, and we, with all our little splitters here, we just really stretched that line. Yeah, it's amazing. You add just one new little thing and start asking for something, you really can pressure that line. Now, why did we do all this? Well, we decided we wanted to get these last 5 burners going. That's what this was all about. So to get these last 5 burners going, what we want to do is get all this turned into going faster. So we're going to just start asking for all sorts of things. And from that, we also mean things like, hey, we want to get this from the ore field here. Ooh, that could be the bigger problem. Didn't really notice it. Wow. The bigger problem is we're running out of ore. That's the bigger issue. Wow. Sometimes you need to track your problems all the way back, and apparently I forgot that little rule. That's okay. we're just going to speed this up for now because eventually we're going to want this nice and quick anyway. So we came with a plan. We'll stick with the plan, even if it's a bad plan. Don't they say the best plans are the plans that you can walk away from or can be changed? Not Patton or somebody said that. Your best laid plan is a plan that can be changed or something like that. There's a better way of saying it, but anyways, something like that. I probably misquoted who it was that said it too, but you know, who would expect any less from me? Not myself. Okay. Well, the good news is, from that point there, so we can actually throw it on the splitter here for now. I'm not going to take this any further back, to be honest. It's sort of at this point, it's like, oh, why bother? It's not like the line's backlogged in any way, shape, or form. This is not our problem. Our problem is much greater than that. And our problem is, well, on the flip side, we did manage to get most of the burners back up and running, except for maybe, well, you know, if we're only flicking these two back and forth, it will help a little bit. But what does it mean? Well, here's what it means. First of all, let's click off our gun defenses and our logic networks, and it means we need more ore. We knew we were going to get here eventually, but we got to start thinking expansion. And so I'm thinking right now, this is the obvious answer for us, is just bumping a little train right down to here. Means we're going to have to get some defensive stuff together, start thinking about it. Now that we've got sort of our radar really kicking out there, we can really see like different options for oil as well. I'm seeing a lot of that. Still think that's where we're going to get our uranium from. It's such a big field of it. We got 59 there, 3, you know, everything else combined doesn't even meet that field. So we definitely are going to want to push for this oil field in this. I mean, that's a given. But I think we'll keep this ore up here for feeding this top side. And what we'll do is we'll start thinking expansion this way. What do we got? 448, 176. We really aren't getting a lot of ore. I mean, we could pull these ones down here, which are massive, and we could pull it this way. So, you know, instead of going this way, we could come down for this small little one here and then start pushing into here. But, of course, it means more defense and more building, all that good stuff. So I want to get us sort of set up for a bit of an expansion push. And I think we'll go after this first just to kind of get ourselves, you know, into the tasty world of trains and all that good stuff. So now we have a bit of a plan going forward. I think what we'll do is we will call that episode 24, I believe. Next episode I think we're going to start really thinking about getting that expansion down there, trying to get this steel, which is falling right back off again. So we definitely need to do something about the ore down there. So yeah, I'm Nerd Dad. That's episode 24. Appreciating likes, all comments, and of course please subscribe. I'm Nerd Dad, and I'm out.